Today I'm buying VIP server in Jailbreak. I wanted to see what it's like, what are all the commands, and then I played with some friends and they wanted to learn about this stuff too, so I'm making this video for them. So I will explain every command in VIP server. So first you click on create private server and then you type in name, and you can see that I just paid 200 Robux. It depends on the game how much they're charging for VIP servers. So Jailbreak, you have to pay 200 Robux. Once you do that, you can see that here we have some controls, like you can change the name here by clicking on this pencil icon, and then here you can type in the new name, and then when you click on the change button, it's going to change the name and you don't have to pay again for that. And then down here we have subscription status. Because it's a monthly subscription service and you have to pay every month 200 Robux, you can turn off the subscription if you want to, and you can see I've currently turned it off. So after 10th of January 2023, my server will stop working and I won't be able to use it anymore. Next, you have allow joining. You can turn this on and off. It's a toggle and this disables your server, so neither you nor your friends will be able to join the server if this is set to off. Next, you have friends allowed, so you can turn this on and off to allow your friends to join your private server. And below this you have members, so if you want to let people into your server and they're not your friends, then you can add people by their username by clicking this button here. And finally, you can also let anyone with link to access your private server. You'll have a generate button here. Since I already have this link here, so it's showing up here. I can click on this button to copy the link and then give it to people and they'll be able to join my server. But then if I don't want them to join anymore, then I can click on regenerate and it's going to give me a new link and so they won't be able to use the previous link. So these are all the things inside the configure menu, and now let's go inside Jailbreak and see what commands we have. Okay, so I'm in my private Jailbreak server, and now we're going to see some of the commands that we have as VIP server owner. And Cookie is going to help me with some of these commands while I demonstrate how each command works. He's going to help me with that. So thanks to him, I was able to make this video. So to use these commands, you'll need to open console, and you can do that by clicking on this gear icon and then selecting console. You can also access this console by pressing tilde key on the keyboard. It's right below the escape key, and then you can type in commands here. Let's start with one of my favorite command. So when you type in something like give, and then you can type in name of the person to give him something. So I'll type in my own name, and you don't have to type in complete names. You just type in few characters of the player that you want to give the item to, and then you can type in the item name. So I'm going to type in AK, and then I'm going to press enter. And you can see that I just got this AK-47 using the command. And you can use these commands to give it to everyone else too. So let's type in help here and then press enter. And you can see that it shows us this long list of commands. So first we have arguments shorthands, and instead of typing in the name, so just like here when we typed in the command, we can type in this period and it's going to replace, so whichever command we're using will be given to just us. So it will only apply to us. We can type in this asterisk sign and it's going to apply to everyone. We can type in double asterisk sign and it's going to give it to everyone else except us. And we can use question mark for random. We have this help command which displays this help menu. So if you ever forget any of these commands, you can just type in help. Next we have OP. It stands for operator. You can make other people's in your server OP and they'll be able to use all of these commands. And then you can also take these permissions away from them. And finally we have VIP owner. So we have exclusive commands such as OP. So we type in OP and then we start typing in name of the person. So let's say that I want to give Cookie OP permissions, and now he can also use these commands. Now that we know how the basics of this works, let's see how we can use it efficiently, and then we'll see every command. So using this efficiently, if you want to give yourself items quickly, just type in give and then space, period, and then space. So we're using period because if you look in the arguments shorthands, period replaces ourselves. So we don't have to type in our name anymore. We can just use this period button. And now we can type in, we can select this by pressing Control A and then Control C to copy this, and let's remove that. So now every time when we want to give ourselves items, we can just press Control V to paste and shotgun. And you don't have to type in complete names. So I'm just going to type in like 4 and it's going to give me force field. I can type in rock and it's going to give me rocket launcher. I can type in RI for rifle, and you can see how quickly I was able to give all of these items. So we can do the same thing for others. So you can type in give and then asterisk sign, and it's going to give it to everyone in your server. And then again, you can copy this command and then you can start giving these items. And you can see that I already have the AK-47, so it says my username already had AK-47, but Cookie was given AK-47. We also have other commands like this zap command. It zaps people, so you can strike other people with lightning, and you can use double asterisks, and it's going to strike everyone in the server except you. So that's why you can use these commands. These make it much more efficient. Now let's take a look at some of the commands. So let's type in help, and then we're going to see what we have. So first we have vehicle collisions. Let's type in vehicle and then collisions, and then we can type in off or on. So I'm going to type in off, and it's going to turn off the vehicle collision. This is really good for racing. So I can get into my car. So you can see that the cars will stop colliding with each other, and this is really helpful if you want to race people in your server. And you can also go through your vehicle, so you're no longer able to collide with vehicle. Let's open our console. The next option is give. We have already seen how it works. So the next command that we have is zap, and it allows us to strike people with lightning. So we can type in zap, and then we can type in period to zap ourselves. We can type in asterisks to zap everyone in the server. We can type in double asterisks, and it's going to zap everyone except us. Or we can just type in name of the person. So I'm going to zap cookie, and we're going to see how it looks. So I'm going to orbit the view, and then I'm going to press enter, and you can see that the cookie was just striked with lightning. And now I'm going to close the console and move away because it's going to start burning me with the fire. And let's see some other commands. So we have kick command. You can use this to kick people out of your server. You type in kick, and then you can use the shorthands to kick yourself or anyone, and they will be able to rejoin the game. They will just be kicked, and then they can rejoin the game. Next, you have give cinematic, so you can type in give cinematic, and then you can type in asterisks and give it to everyone. And now you can press Shift P yourself or other people, and then hold down right mouse button to rotate the camera. You can use WASD keys to move the camera around, and it moves really quickly. You can hold down Shift button to move it more smoothly and slowly. And you can also use your scroll wheel to zoom in. So this is really good for making videos, but also sometimes if your friends are fighting CEO and you want to look at them, how they're fighting, you can also use this command, and it's just fun to use. Let's open our console again, and the next command that we have is announce road spike. Again, it's really useful for racing. You can use it as a finish line, and it's going to announce whoever hits the spikes in the chat. Let's type in announce road spikes, and then we type in on. And now you can see that it says game will now announce when road spikes are hit. And I'm going to ask Cookie to put down some spikes, and we can test it. And I'm going to get in the car. And now I'm going to just drive over these spikes. And you can see that it says dust hit Cookie's road spike. So really helpful for using as finish lines. Let's open our console. The next command that we have is arrests. So you can turn off arrests in your server, and you can see that it says arresting is now disabled, and people won't be able to arrest you. Next, you have train. We're going to see that in a second. After that, we have pits. So we can type in pits and then turn pits on, and you can see that it says it was already enabled. So let's see what pit means. So I'm going to ask Cookie to get into a car. So I'm going to just drive a bit away so that he can spawn a new car, and then we're going to collide with each other so we can show you the pit maneuver. And now we're going to just drive into one another. And you can see that my car stalled, and I have this smoke coming out of the engine. So these are called pit maneuvers, and you can turn these off. So if I type in pits off, and now we're going to collide again, and you can see that it no longer happens. Also, I'm going to turn on the vehicle collision so it looks a bit better. Vehicle collisions on. And now we're going to just collide with one another again. And you can see that it no longer happens. So pits are now disabled. Let's turn on the console and see what other commands we have. Next, we have vehicle ban. So you can ban certain vehicles from your server. So let's type in something like vehicle ban roadster. And then we type in true. And you can see that it kicked me out of the roadster. And now if I go to roadster and press E, you can see that it says this vehicle is currently disabled in the server. So you can disable a few vehicles by typing in their names, or if you want to disable all cars in your server, then you can type in vehicle and then ban, and then you can type in asterisk sign, and it's going to select everything, and then you type in true. And now it's going to ban everything. And now if you just want to allow one or two vehicles, you can start by typing in vehicle, ban, and then let's say I want to allow roadster, and then I'm going to type in false. And now only roadster will be drivable in this server. No other vehicles will be allowed. And then I'm going to just type in vehicle ban asterisk sign false, and it's going to enable everything back. Let's scroll up here and see some other options. Next, we have rain. So you can start raining by typing in rain on, and you can see that it starts raining. And then you can type in rain off and it's going to stop raining. Next we have train speed, that again we'll see in a second. And finally you have ban and unban. You can type in ban and then type in the name of the person, or you use one of the shorthands, and they won't be able to rejoin your server until you unban them. And you can unban by typing in unban, and you can leave it blank to see all banned people from your server. Okay, so I just came to the place where the train spawns. So here is the train spawning location. It's really close to the casino. And the way this command works is really cool. So train, and then we type in number of the train cards. So let's type in 1. And you can see that it spawned this train, and it only has engine. So we just typed in 1. And when you type this again, the previous train disappears, but then the new one will be spawned. And you type in 10. And you can see now this time we have 2 engines, and we have multiple boxes behind those engines. So we were able to spawn this ourselves. And now you don't have the robbing box, because then you'll be able to glitch sort of infinite money. So that's why they didn't included that. And now let's type in something like train, and we can type in something like 1000. And now you can see that it set it to max 100. And you can also type in train speed, and let's type in something like 500. And you can see that it moves it so quickly. So something really cool to play with. So you can see we have a very long train, and it's moving really fast. And let's type in something like train speed 100, and now it's back to normal speed. So you can see that it's an extremely long train. And we can press Shift P, so you can see that it's a very long train. Just look at the size of that train. So you can see that you can do some really cool stuff with this. So you can see that we have a train right over there. So if we zoom in, so it's almost like going from all the way through that area, and then it's coming out here. So here's the ending part of the train. So we have an extremely long train in an entire map of Jailbreak. Just look at the train. So cool. Okay, and I'm gonna jump off of the train before it goes into the tunnel. So that wraps up all of these VIP commands and everything. I hope I explained everything clearly. And now if you're watching this video and you're in my friend list and you play with me, you can use these commands and you can give items to yourself. Sometimes I might need help and you might give items to me. If anyone else watching this video, I hope you find this video helpful.